Hello and welcome to the Heartmoor podcast. I am back with another episode quite soon after the last one, so super pleased with myself. Excuse my wet hair this morning. I've got a small window of opportunity to record this morning while there's nobody in the house, so I have just washed my hair ready for work tomorrow, and yeah, it's a bit wet, so apologies. My name is Stacey and I am a knitter, crocheter, that's about it really at the moment, from Plymouth in the southwest of England, and I live here with my husband and my three beautiful daughters, who are, I'm trying to remember their ages now because we've got, it's birthday season, so they are 17, 9, soon to be 10 and 11. Yeah, I never remember. What else? You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Heartmoor, and I will pop links below. And yeah, that's about it really. Welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and hello to I've had some new subscribers, so hello and welcome to you. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm not a professional by any means. My editing skills are severely lacking, so this is one of those just play it and run type things, and if there's mistakes or bits wrong in it, then I apologise for that. Okay, shall we get started? I've actually got quite a few finished objects. Most of them are small accessories, but I have been sort of beavering away. We had half term here in England for the last sort of 2 weeks. Some schools have 1 week half term, some schools have a 2-week half term. We had a 1.5 week half term because I had to go back for some non-pupil days. I work in a school, so I've managed to get quite a bit of knitting done. So I'm not normally this prolific, but let's. Oh, and I've got a few works in progress, and I did sneak in a little yarn show, yarn festival the other week. So I've got a few acquisitions from that as well. Let's start with what I'm wearing. This is the Storm sweater by Petite Knit. I'll just explain actually because my background's a bit different. I was just trying to work out the lighting. I'm in my living room, but we've redecorated our living room, and if I remember, I'll try and insert some footage here of how it looks. And we've painted it dark green, but we've got these big white double doors behind us that go from our living room to our dining room, and the window is directly opposite, shining on me. So I think the light's quite good, but if I sat on my usual place of the couch, I think last time the dark green behind me was just too dark for the footage. So I'm sitting on the floor in front of the double doors, and hopefully this will be a little bit better. Right, yes, finished object. This is the Storm sweater by Petite Knit. I have finished it. Last time I think I'd just picked up the sleeves for the second arm. So I have 2 arms, and they are both finished. And yeah, I have washed and blocked the garment. I'll try and show you a bit of the pattern up close. You can see, so it's, I'm sure you probably all know this sweater, but it's basically just textured knitting. It's all knits and pearls. And yeah, it repeats itself. It's got quite a nice high collar. I've done this quite length. Oh, let me see. I might not have to put footage in if you can see it properly. Oh yeah, look, see, I won't even have to put any B-roll in. It hits me just sort of, here's my waist, here's my hips. So yeah, it hits me just at my hips. It's a very good, got a little, yeah, I'm not really good at measuring my ease. It's definitely got a few inches of positive ease. These quite long ribbing on the cuff, and it comes sort of to where I like it here. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's knitted in Woolyknit, 100% British wool DK cones. I haven't got a remainder of the cone here to show you, but and this colour I think was, I can't remember. It'll all be on my Ravelry page, but I can't remember exactly what colour this. I'll put it below as well. But it's this beautiful sort of raspberry pink. This is pretty much true to colour. Yeah, and I'm really, really happy with it. I knitted it to pattern. I knitted the 4th size, knitted it to pattern. The only thing I changed is on the collar, where you knit, it says so you start sort of here, the collar's added afterwards, and you knit up, and then it says to seam it down. You fold it, it's a folded collar, fold it down and seam it. Instead of seaming it, I knitted it with the stitches, the cast on stitches or the pickup stitches, and just did a loose knit. So I knit one, yarn over, purl one, knit one, yarn over, purl one, and did that to make it extra sort of stretchy so that it fits over my head lovely. And I think it's a lovely fit round the neck. And yeah, I'm super happy with this. It will get lots and lots of wear this season. It's really warm because it's 100% British wool. And yeah, so you can see the texture a bit better there. Look, all the different sort of pattern repeats. Yeah, so really happy with that. It's actually quite a simple knit because it's all knits and purls. There's nothing really complicated about it. The construction is relatively simple. You start at the back, you knit a portion of the back, then you sort of cast on each shoulder, knit the front, and then you cast, and then once you've passed the sleeve bit, you knit in the round. So yeah, it is fairly simple. So I would recommend it for someone that's knitted, you know, a beginner garment knitter. Okay, so what's next? What should we start? My brain isn't working very well today. Let's start with this. So if you've watched the previous episode, you'll know that every year for Christmas I knit my family, we all knit some socks, and there's usually some sort of theme. And I've already knitted 3 pairs, which I've shown on previous episodes. So I've finished now the 4th pair. I cast these on since the last episode and I have finished them. Let me get everything out, everything ready, get my sock blocker ready. So these are for my eldest daughter, and she's a UK size 7. Let's put this one on. And the theme this year is shorty socks with like a sporty stripe. And I will just put it on the blocker before I show you. And this is, which way round? Doesn't really matter. Yeah, and these are the ones that I have finished. So I have 2 pairs. And yeah, these are size 7. All the details are on my Ravelry page. I do sort of put all the details on there. But essentially I've done 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing. Then I've done a pattern, I think it was 4 rows. Then I went into the heel, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset all the way down. And then just before I know her sort of her foot length. So when I was sort of approaching the toe, I did another repeat of the same stripes that I'd done up here. And then I do a wedge toe. So really, really beautiful. The yarn I've used, this pink one is some leftovers from a ball of blue fern yarns in the colour Acer. And I knitted some fingerless mittens in these a couple of years ago. I saw Shannon at the Southern Wool Show, and she had stopped dyeing Acer. I love this colour, look at it, so beautiful. She stopped dyeing Acer, and when she saw my mittens, she thought I was a really beautiful colour, and she's dyeing it again. So don't know if she has it in the shop right at this moment, because obviously we're quite seasonal, but it is a colourway that is a regular of hers. So that's super beautiful. And the main colour, I have used this mini, well, it's not a mini now. It's a mini now, it wasn't a mini. I used this colourway from Nora George Yarns. I don't think she's dyeing anymore, but this was a Christmas colourway from a few years ago. And it was like this sort of pinky, variegated, pinky speckled one. And it came in a set with a green one. There were 250 grams. But I've used this and this together to make these beautiful socks. I do all of my socks generally on 2.5mm DPNs. And yeah, so that is 4 pairs of socks for Christmas done. The only ones I need to do now are mine. And I'm not overly, I can knit a pair of socks like this, shorties, in a few days. So I'm not in a rush. And if mine don't get done, I will just sneak a pair out of my drawer, out of my stash. And I will do some because it's nice for us all to have. We've all got like matching stripy socks. So that is those ones completed. So I can put those away in the Christmas gift drawer now. Right, let's pop that over there. Next finished object. I think last time I recorded, I was knitting an Oslo hat for my youngest daughter in, oh, I haven't brought it with me, in this beautiful neon net yarn from Birdstreet. I think it's in Hyacinth. I think it's Hyacinth is the colour, because it's got in brackets bouquet, which is a reference to a British comedy from the 90s. But yeah, this is an Oslo hat. It's for my youngest daughter. It's in this neon net yarn, which is a UV, if you shine a UV light on it, all these nets sort of glow up. I do have a UV torch. I showed it in the last episode, but yeah, when you shine it on, they all glow up. I knitted the, I can't remember what size I've knitted. I haven't made notes. I'm totally rubbish. I just thought, oh my God, I've got an hour this morning. Let's run on. It's all on Ravelry. But if you do have any questions, if you're not on Ravelry, please just pop them below. I'm more than happy to answer them. I knitted the sort of, I think they're like a large child size. I don't think I did small adult. It's either small adult or large child. I mean, she's only like coming up for 10. So the only change I made, because I was worried about yarn, is that I knitted this shorter than it should be. So you knit a portion and then you sort of fold it in on itself. So this is like triple thick. And because it was so short, it wasn't staying very well. So I have, you can see, very poor job of tacking it down. You can't see it when it's on her head. I think it fits me. Let's try. Oh yeah. Very lovely hat. Yeah. So I've tacked this down, and you can't see it when it's on. And that fits her absolutely beautifully. So that is one hat done for one daughter. My hair's completely and utter mess now. Sorry for fiddling with it. If it's annoying, I apologise. Again, I knitted these on 3.75 circular needles, just because that's the size that I had handy. And I held the yarn, it's a fingering yarn, and I held it double, so it's a DK weight. Where's my bag? See if I've got what I had left. Hang on, let's get that one out. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and that's how much I had left. It's about 20 grams, just under 20 grams. So yeah, that was about 80 grams, maybe slightly over. I think the skeins are about 105 grams. So yeah, super pleased with that one, and that's what I've got left. So that'll go into my mini basket for a future thing, or maybe a heel toe or cuff or whatever. Next finished object is another hat for my middle daughter. And this is the Purl Soho Classic Ribbed Beanie. I think that's what it's called. Classic ribbed hat, classic ribbed beanie. It's, oh, I didn't say, Oslo hat by Petite Knit. Did I say that? Can't remember. That's the paid for pattern. This is a free pattern, and it is basically just a 1x1 ribbed beanie with some nice, if you can see that, some nice sort of decreases. And this is again in Birdstreet neon net yarn in the colour Sassy, which is a really beautiful peachy pink. This colour is like perfect. This lighting is showing these colours absolutely perfectly. It can be worn, well, she likes to wear it like this, but you could, you know, you can make it brim as well. Again, 3.75 needles, a simple 1x1 rib. I did the size, well, I planned to do the third size, but I was doing the long tail cast on and I didn't have my tail long enough. So I'm somewhere between the second and third sizes, and then I had to slightly fudge the decreases because I had a random number of stitches. It fits her fine. It will probably fit me as well. There we go. Yeah, didn't really do anything wrong with this. I didn't change anything on this one, didn't make any adjustments. Yeah, there we go. That's it in its proper beanie sort of shape. And this one's for my middle daughter. So they have matching UV glowing hats now. That one is finished. And I have cast on, I must just dive into a little work in progress here because it fits the bill. I have cast on another Purl Soho classic ribbed beanie, also in, I've got the label in here, Birdstreet yarn. There we go. Oh. Can you see it? Yes. Birdstreet yarn, and this one is in the colour Spruced Neon. It's a neon nep, 85 superwash merino and 15% Donegal nep, 4-ply, 100 grams, 400 metres. And we went to the yarn show we went to last weekend. My girls wore their hats so they could show Claire and John, who are the dyers of Birdstreet yarn, what beautiful hats they had. But I've cast on another one, and this is in the second size. The stitch count is correct on this one, and this is for a friend's son. It's this beautiful green colour, and again it's just 1x1 ribbed beanie. I'm on the decreases now. These are my 3.75 circular needles, and I've got quite a bit left, but I have got another skein of this to do a hat for my husband, so whatever's left from this skein will go into making his hat a little bit longer, because he needs a big one, so he's going to need that extra bit of yarn. So yes, so that hat is going to be finished today, hopefully. Actually, with the Sassy, I should probably say it had a lot more yarn left than the Purl Soho, than the Oslo hat. It doesn't use anywhere near as much yarn for the rib, so I've got quite a bit left of that. So I think maybe some colour work in a hat, maybe a colour work hat or something, I don't know. Anyway, so I've got some leftovers of that, and yeah, I am working on this. And these hat things are being kept in I better show it because people like to see project bags, don't they? Being kept in my Ollie and Bella autumnal bag, and I love this bag. It's just the right size for a hat or a pair of socks. And Ollie and Bella is the lovely Cherie, and she is one of my best friends. And some of you might have come here from her podcast, so this was gifted to me a few years ago. Right, that's that one done. I have one more finished object, and where's the bag with the stuff? This one, I think this is a Christmas bag, because we're in November now and Christmas is allowed. And this is a bag by, oh please tell me it's got a label in. It does. Gibby Rousseau's. There we go, beautiful bag by Gibby Rousseau's, quite a good size. And I was applied for Laura Penrose, of Penrose Knits, and I applied to test knit her Midland neck, which is like a Dickie. I don't really know the correct term, if that's an American term. I don't even know what it's really called, but this is let me just fold that over. It's a test copy. And this is the Midland neck stroke Dickie by Laura Penrose, and it's basically one of those ones that goes over your head and it has sort of no arms, and it just sits on the front, sits on the back, and keeps you warm under like an open coat. Or if you've got a jumper on but you don't want to wear or if you've got like a long sleeve top on but you don't want to put a jumper on under your coat because it can be too hot if you're going for a walk. You don't always want the jumper and then the coat. Sometimes you just need a neck, like a neck with a nice high, that bit too. It's really nice. So yeah, I was successful in test knitting that, and I knit the second size, which is the teen size. The test knit doesn't actually finish till the end of November, so I finished it early. It took me 5 days to knit it, really quick. It's a really quick little project. And I knitted the teen size for my youngest, and I am going to make another one for my other daughter as well because it's absolutely fantastic. And I've used 2 yarns. I did get gauge, but I'm quite a tight knitter, so the yarns I've used are not what's recommended. I use DK and a fingering. I use DK Merino and a fingering Sari. The pattern would probably, I think the pattern recommends a fingering and a lace weight to make like a DK. Mine's probably more of a worsted. But I did hit gauge with how I knit, and it's come up with glorious fabric. So the yarns, I used this one here. Is this the right label? Yeah. This one here is this beautiful sort of purpley colour, and it's by the Fibre Fox. show you her label. There we go, the Fibre Fox, and this is the colour Hyacinth, or maybe the other one was Hydrangea. No, anyway, Hyacinth. It's her Luxe Merino DK, which is 100% superwash merino. 225 meters is 100 grams. And I had 2 skeins of this, and that's what's left of the first one. And I've got that one. In fact, I can tell you how much I used because I wrote it down because it's a test. So I used 141 grams of this DK, which is really, really beautiful. And I held this together with, this. Oh God, look at that. That is so soft. And this one is Zakami yarns. Oh, where's the label for this one? Oh, it's here. This one is from Zakami. And it is their Baba Yaga, which is that's the colour is Baba Yaga. And it's 100% brushed Suri alpaca. 100 grams is 400 meters. So it is a fingering weight. I did say that. It says not a lace weight. It is a fingering weight. And the fingering and the DK together got me gauge. And I used, of this one, how many grams of this did I use? 70. So I've still got 30 grams left of that. And do you want to see it? Do you want to see the finished item? It is rather lovely. And I absolutely love it. I have shared it on my Instagram page. And all the details are on Ravelry as well. But, oh, look at that. Look at that. It is beautiful. The construction of this is so clever. You sort of cast on the edge with a knife cord, cast on, then you do a lot of shaping, short row shaping. Hang on, I'm trying to hold it without, you do a lot of short row shaping to get sort of this lovely shape around the shoulder. And then it's all garter stitch, so you knit from side to side, and then you pick up and knit this beautifully long neck. So it's very cleverly constructed, very simple to knit. I say this is the teen size. It does fit in, I'll put it on in a second, but I'll just show you this texture up close. It's got a fabulous halo from the Suri. It's got this beautiful faux seam as well on the shoulders. And it is just so squishy. Oh, love it. Really, really, you can see how thick, look how thick that is. Like, oh, lovely. Yeah, look at that texture. And the colours together have just come out absolutely beautifully. You can really see the colour variation in the Suri. Yeah, let me put it on for you. It's a bit small on me because, again, it's for the teen size, but I can get it on because I've tried, because I wanted to. I am absolutely, in my life, going to knit something else in this yarn combination with that brushed Suri alpaca and the deep merino DK. 100% going to knit something else. It's just so good. So here we go. So you get the idea of it. Obviously it comes right to my daughter's shoulders. It keeps you warm in the front, keeps you warm in, can't see the back, keeps you warm in the back. It's bunching up because I've got a jumper on underneath, but why is it? That's better. Keeps you warm in the back. It's got this beautiful, you can see the shoulder seam, and the other lovely warm neck. And when my daughter goes out in the winter and she doesn't have a jumper on, because it's, you know, when you start walking, you get warm, don't you? Oh, it's so warm. And I don't find the Suri particularly doesn't bother my skin. I can feel like a small amount of prickliness. But I've got a jumper on underneath. I've got a woolly jumper on underneath as well. So this is almost pressing that woolly jumper into my skin. But yeah, so, you know, she goes out just so long so she can shove this on. Her neck will be kept warm, but her arms, she won't overheat. So that's why it's fabulous. I'm going to take it off because I am getting quite warm. And I'm just going to sort my hair out, excuse me, because otherwise it'll dry really funny. Oh, it's going to dry funny anyway. I'm going to have to straighten it later. But yes, this is the Midland neck stroke Dickie from Laura Penrose of Penrose Knits. It will be released, I imagine, sometime late November, December, but keep an eye on her Instagram page for more details. but I love it and I will be making more. And it's perfect for using up like those special skeins that you've maybe got 1.5 of, or yeah, if you've got like 1 skein and a bit of leftover, this would be absolutely perfect for that. Or even if you've just got 2 skeins or leftover from a cone or something, this is perfect for that. Because you wouldn't have to knit the neck that long. I actually got the whole body, in fact, out of 1 skein of DK. And if you were using fingering instead of DK, you know, you'd have more meterage, wouldn't you? And that's what I had left. So you could knit the whole thing and then just knit the collar in like a different yarn, or you could knit the collar just in the Sari or whatever you were holding it with. So you could absolutely use a couple of single skeins, special single skeins for something like this. It would be a great project to use for that special skein. So yes, that's that one finished. Okay, that is my finished objects for this podcast. I'll just pop all this away because I'm going to need to have all that information in one place when Laura asks me the information for the test knit. I do have some works in progress. What do I have? What's in here? Oh yes. I forgot, I've just focused on the test knit for a week. I've forgotten what else I had. So I have cast on a Simon shawl, which is in this lovely project bag by Moo and Mouse. And this is Herriott on the front, Herriott the Hedgehog. Got this a few years ago in one of her Christmas things. Oh, and look, there's my beautiful stitch marker from Becky from Mrs. B. Diddy Design. Mrs. B. Diddy Beck's Knits. Yeah, she's got a podcast and on Instagram. Anyway, that was the gift at the Southern Wool Show. So I've tagged that on there. But this is my bag from Moo and Mouse. And I'm knitting the Simon Shawl by Twinset and Purl. You might have heard of it. It's a beautifully textured sort of mosaic knitted shawl. I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately. I've only got the pattern. But it'll be quite obvious to see when I hold it up. I haven't got very far with it. But this is it so far. So the idea is it's going to be a long crescent shaped shawl, and it's got this beautiful pattern on it, stitch pattern, and that just continues all the way up. So I'm increasing at the moment. I think I get to a point once I finish the increases that I knit straight for a while and then I decrease. So I'm just going to keep weighing my yarn, and when I get halfway through my yarn, I think the pattern calls for about 120 or 130 grams of yarn of each colour, and I've only got 1 skein of each. So my plan is to just knit till I'm halfway through my skeins and then decrease. So that's what I've done so far. It's this beautiful burgundy and natural looking colour. These are on 3 point, I can't see with the light, 3.5mm needles. Yes. And the yarn is, what is the yarn? So here we go. Let's get the label out. Why don't I have a label for both of them? What's this one? Oh yeah, I know what that is. That's why I don't have a label. And these are the colours I am using. You can see actually, it's interesting. The burgundy is quite dulled down actually by the pattern. The way I've done it, the grey is definitely the dominant colour, but I like it and it will look quite nice with this actually. I like that, that's what it's making. And the grey is from Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. I think it's a BFL Gotland mix. I got it in this D-stash and I don't have a label. It came in a set of 3 and I think the label was on another skein which I have gifted. So yeah, I think it's a BFL Gotland from Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. I think this is the natural colour. 4-ply, really woolly yarn. This one is the proper, you know, real wool deal. And this beautiful burgundy colour is from Dina's Home of Crafts. I think I got this at a yarn festival a couple of years ago, actually, if I remember rightly. Dina's Home of Crafts, there is her label. I don't know if that's still her label, but that's what it was when I bought this. And this is called Perfect Red. It's a fingering, a 4-ply, 400 metre to 100 grams, 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. and that's why you get the deep colour, because of the yak. And this is really nice as well. So together they are making this beautiful Simon shawl. The pattern is fairly straightforward, but I do need to look every row. I'm not able to read the knitting well enough to not look at the pattern. So I am having to look at it every row, but once I know how I start the row's done. So I'm literally looking at it at the start of each row, and then I don't need to look. So it is simple, but for me it's not, I'm not able to memorize, I'm not able to read my knitting well enough to be able to memorize it completely. But yes, that I will continue working on that one. That's sort of a pick up, put down project. Like I say, because I need the pattern out, I can't just sort of take it wherever I want with me. But that is that one. I have also, I'm going to call this I'm going to call it a work in progress. I've literally just cast it on. And this is from the Sari Nordland book, Softly Timeless Knits. I absolutely love this book. There's so many things in here I want to make. But I am making a pair of socks. And these are the Euterpe socks. I don't know, I've got to find the pattern. Where's the pattern? And then I can show you the picture of the socks. See if I can find the picture without showing you any details. Here we go. So that is the sock. It's a beautiful cabled sock. It is toe up, which is not my preference, but I have mastered the cast on now for a toe up sock. So I just find the heels don't fit me as well. Anyway, that's the beautiful pattern from there. And that's what I'm making. And I am using this absolutely, so I want all my sort of textured socks from like, I've got the 52 Weeks Socks book by Lena and sort of Sari Nordland socks to be in my non-superwash yarns. And I'm using this beautiful one from Loom wool, and it's in the colour Nimbus. And this is a Corriedale sock, so 100% Corriedale, non-superwash yarn, 400 metres to 100 grams. And it's this beautiful pale, it is actually a pale, coming across the pale blue, it's coming, you can maybe see, it's not a grey, it's a pale blue, really, really beautiful colour. And I'm knitting it on 2.5mm needles, and I have literally, just take this out, done the toe and the first line of, you can't see it because that's the back, the first row of cables. So I've cast on my toe, which I'm quite pleased with. I was pleased with that toe cast on. And yeah, I've literally done my first row of cables. But it is a cabled pattern, so it does need to be looked at, but I'm going to need to photocopy it at work so I can start marking it off. So that's why I've stopped. I don't want to knit any more on it until I photocopied the pattern. So I'm going to take that into work, photocopy it, and then I can start marking it off. It's a simple pattern. I won't be able to remember where I've got to without sort of physically marking it off, and I don't want to write in the book. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. But again, that's a more complicated pattern. I don't have anything really simple at the moment. But I'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, and then I have one more work in progress. So I finished the storm sweater. So I did have another sweater that I had cast on earlier this year before I even cast this one on. Full cable sweater. It's the Rivendell by Sari Nordland. But I got to the sleeves and I just needed to take a break. So I cast this one on, finished this. So now I'm going to pick the Rivendell back up. Again, it's a cabled sweater by Sari Nordland, and I'm knitting it in this beautiful burgundy. Oh, that's blowing out slightly. It is slightly darker than it's showing on screen. That's the right colour. And this is, what is it called? Oh, hang on, there's a label in this one. That's it. It's Holst Super Soft in the colour Cranberry. And this was a D-stash that I bought from the lovely... No, I bought this myself. It's not a D-stash. I bought this myself. This is, yeah, Holst Super Soft in the colour Cranberry, which is this beautiful burgundy colour. And I have finished the entire body on this one. There we go. Here's the Rivendell. It's not a complicated pattern. It's all in... I don't know the difference between moss stitch and seed stitch. So it's in this stitch. You might be more of an expert than me. Is that moss or seed? I have absolutely no idea. And then it's got this lovely sort of cable design coming down the front. It's a V-neck, it's quite a low V-neck, which I like. I'm looking forward to wearing this to work. Hence why I've picked it back up again, because it's wintry and it's quite warm. This is beautiful V-neck, and I've knitted down and I've done the rib on the bottom, and then I have literally just picked up the sleeve on this side and done about 1 inch. So I need to crack on with this really. Again, because it's cabled, there is a cable pattern on it is cabled on here as well. It runs sort of down the panel. Because of that, I need the pattern. I can't just, it's not a mindless knit. But yes, I'm really, really happy with this. I can't wait to have it finished and worn. So I really need to get cracking, because otherwise we haven't actually had cold weather here yet, but once the cold weather arrives, I want to be able to wear this. I don't want to wait till next year. So that is the Rivendell by Sari Nordland, and I've knitted everything to pattern so far. What size needles am I using? I can't see in this light. My eyes is terrible. I have absolutely no idea. 4 or 4.5, something like that. It's all on the page. And this is, yeah, I want to get that one worn. So I haven't knitted on it yet. Well, I've got it out. That is a start. It's out, ready. I just need to find the pattern, which isn't here, and crack on with this. Okay, that is what I am currently working on, sort of working on, and what I have finished. If you're not, well, I'm going to go through the acquisitions from the yarn show, but some of those are going to be future plans. So I don't know what you're interested in, whether you want to stay and watch that or not. If you're leaving now, thank you very much. I would really appreciate it if you would like. And if you're not subscribed, that would be wonderful. I've had a little flurry of subscribers recently, and I'm finding the algorithms of Instagram and YouTube quite hard to wheedle my way into. My little podcast isn't quite finding its way in at the moment, and I love to share what I'm doing with people. So if you are able to like and subscribe, that would really help me out. Thank you very much. Don't like doing that. So acquisitions. I went to Stitch Fest last weekend, which was in Newton Abbot. There was a lovely little, I hadn't planned to buy very much, but because when I went a few years ago with Sari, my friend, there wasn't a great number of stalls that we wanted to buy from. This year, however, the quality, I don't want to say the quality because that implies that the quality wasn't very good before. The sort of yarns that I wanted to buy, there was a lot more of those stall holders. So for example, I'm very interested in non-superwash sock yarns at the moment, and there were a lot of stall holders selling that kind of yarn. So I hadn't planned to buy very much, bought a little bit more than I expected. Not loads, but just more than I'd planned. So the first thing I bought, which has nothing to do with superwash, non-superwash yarns, is this Kremka Stellaris yarn, and it is this beautiful black with like silver glittery strands yarn going all the way through it. I've seen a fabulous top from Beck's Knits, Mrs. B Diddy on Instagram, where she knitted a black top with this black thread, and it's like a Christmas jumper, and I want something very similar. I don't know what I'm going to hold it with. I don't know whether to hold it with like a navy or a dark purple, or by something black or charcoal. But I've bought 2 skeins of this for a future project. Don't know what that'll be just yet. Next thing I bought was this absolutely beautiful skein of, it's coming out more brown. It's definitely, well, it's the brownish side of purple, but it is more purple than brown. And it's this beautiful yarn by Brent Fox Yarns. Can you see that? Brent Fox Yarns, coloured by nature, so it's natural dyed. They say it's the unique artisan wools coloured with sustainable natural dyes. The dyer is Sally Scanlon, and this is Gloucestershire Jacob rare breed, knits as 4-ply, dyed with madder, 100 grams approximately. This is 96 grams, it's actually got it written in, so 96 grams in here. So this is, I don't know if this will make socks or not. Gloucestershire Jacob, I'm sure she said I could use this for socks. So I'm hoping this will be a lovely pair of rustic socks for me in the future. So there's that one. Next one was this one, and this was a new to me. Well, Brent Fox yarns was new to me. This was also new to me, and this is ginger pink plant dyed yarn. And you might have heard, I don't know if you follow Ruth Loves to Knit, but she was talking about them this week because I saw her at Stitch Fest and she'd bought some of this yarn. And this is hand dyed in small batches using natural plant dyes, ginger pink, and it's this beautiful green. It's a bit more, that's better. It's a slightly richer green. It's blowing out a little bit on camera. And this is in Weld and Saxon Blue, which is indigo. And it's an Exmoor sock 4-ply, which is 60% Exmoor Blueface, 20% Corriedale, 10% Swartles and Swartballs, and 10% nylon, and 100 grams is 400 meters. And this will 100% be a beautiful pair of socks. It's got a bit of nylon. It's not super wash, but it has got a bit of nylon in, but that's fine. It's perfect for socks, which is what I want it for. Then I bought this one as well, which is from Thread and Yarn, which is 100% woolen yarn, naturally dyed in Stroud by Lorna. And I bought some of theirs at the Southern Wool Show, and she was there again. And I bought this. Oh, there should be another mini in here. There was 3. There was a little white one as well. That must have fallen out upstairs. But yeah, this is from Thread and Yarn. I don't know if you can see that. And this is Corriedale sock, 4-ply, 100 grams, a 20 gram and a 5 gram. The 5 gram is missing. What does it say? In the colour Romney, and it's this beautiful pinky rustic orange with like a pale beige to go with it, oatmeal colour. That's more of a pink actually, pinky oatmeal. And this will also be a lovely pair of socks. I might do colourwork socks. She did give me a pattern to go with it. But I'm also signed up to the Colourwork Cuff Club by Sarah Lee, and I haven't knitted any of hers yet, so I don't know. But another pair of socks. Then I bought one. I got 2 more. Promise, not too many, just 2 more. This was from the Wivey Weaver. She was having a retirement sale. Wivey Weaver Yarn Alchemy, and it's hand spun. And I bought some of hers from the Southern Wool Show as well. But I saw this beautiful paler colour. I bought a nice dark purple last time, but this is a nice pale one. And it's hand spun yarn, Exmoor Blueface wool, 108 grams, approximately 232 meters, and this was on sale. So I bought that beautiful Wivey Weaver one. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I want to do a brioche hat by Andrea Mowry, and this might look quite nice. It's like a nice dark grey. We will see. And then the last purchase I made was, and I actually bought 6 of these. So I've got one here to show you because I'm not holding all 6 up, but I bought 6 of these, and this was from the Rushlade Wool Company. And this is 100% Masham, DK weight, 100 grams, approximately 170 meters, probably a bit closer to a worsted than a DK. And it's 100% British wool from their small Devon farm. But I bought 6 skeins of it, and I want to make the Loom by Sari Nordland, which is a colourwork yoke thing. But this would be the main colour, and then I would find another colour for the colourwork. So that's what I'm thinking about with this one. And that might be my next cast on. And that is everything. Oh, that felt like a lot. I said it was just going to be a short podcast, and we're already nearly 45 minutes in. Yeah, so yeah. So that's all the yarny stuff. A bit of life stuff. Not an awful lot has happened. We had half term, and my aunt and uncle came down from where they live in the east of England. They popped down for a weekend, and we went out to Dartmouth, which is a beautiful town in Devon. We went for a river cruise, and then we went to a local beach called Slapton Sands and had fish and chips, which was lovely. And then we popped to a garden centre the next day with my parents as well, because it's my mum's sister, and had a nice piece of cake, something to eat. My daughter turned 17 at the beginning of October, and she has had her first driving lesson. My husband took her out. I don't have the patience. I'm not going to do it. So my husband took her out to do that. That was nice. She's got proper lessons booked in for January, but I was a bad mum and didn't book it far enough in advance. So she's having to wait till January for those, but then she'll have formal lessons, hopefully, and at some point pass her test, and then we'll not be able to drive because you can't afford a car for her. And then, because that's just the way it is these days, isn't it? Everything's so expensive. What else did we do in half term? Not a lot really. We just chilled out a bit, popped to some more garden centres. The girls had like sleepovers and a few friends they met up with. My husband worked all through half term, so it was just peaceful and chilled. Not that it's not when he's here, but you know, he just wants to go out and do stuff all the time, and I'm like, I just want to sit and knit. What else did we do? We had the flooring done in the living room, finished. It's a natural floorboards, and they've all been sanded and varnished, so the floor looks beautiful. Like I said, hopefully I've already insert a little video. That reminds me, I need to do that, of the living room. And yeah, not much else has really happened. Oh, we went on to up to Plymouth Hoe, which is where sort of the bay, I suppose, Plymouth Bay. Yeah. And watched the fireworks and bonfire night on Tuesday night. That was fun. I love bonfire night in the UK. It's one of our cultural traditions. And now it's November. I'm full on in Christmas mode. So we hopefully might be getting some boxes out the loft this afternoon, having a look through them. The Christmas duvets are on the bed. The girls are getting super excited this year. So yes, looking forward to Christmas and everything that comes with that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you if you've watched this far. Yeah, and as mentioned earlier, if you could like, I'd really appreciated it. And if you're not subscribed, that would be wonderful. If you could, thank you. And I don't know when I'll be back. It depends when I get a free moment in the house. Hopefully, it should be before Christmas. God, that's only a few weeks away. Hopefully it'll be before Christmas. If not, it might be in that weird sort of between Christmas and January period when I might have a bit of time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.